Hi, I'm Jennifer Tomlinson, Global Channel Marketing Lead at Microsoft. Welcome to the Partner Marketing Pros podcast, where we have candid conversations with Microsoft partners all over the world who have achieved strong customer acquisition and retention from their excellence in marketing. In this podcast series, our partners are going to share marketing experiences, secrets, and best practices, as well as practical advice and resources that can help you improve your marketing results and drive growth. I'm excited to introduce you to your host today, Joanne Charlie, Chief Marketing Officer at Neural Impact. She is a professor of marketing at Capilano University in Canada, digital neuromarketer, and 35-year technology industry expert who has worked with Microsoft partners around the world to help transform their customer acquisition to align with the needs of the new Cloud Buyer 2.0. In this episode, we will discuss the importance of the customer and specifically customer lifetime value and what marketing can do to support this through improved customer service strategies and post-sale nurture and advocacy programs. Joining the conversation today is Prashanth Subramanian, co-founder and executive director of Quadrasystems. Quadrasystems is a globally recognized, award-winning infrastructure, services, and solutions provider based in India. They've been recognized by Microsoft with the Worldwide Partner of the Year Award for technology innovation not just once, but 14 times across several categories.
Welcome, Prashanth. Thanks for joining us today. You've got such an outstanding record in the Microsoft partner community, and the basis of all those awards was not only innovative technical solutions, but that you've consistently exceeded customer expectations. And today, I'm excited to explore with you how you've driven these transformations as they relate to the way customers want to engage with companies on their buying journey, and what this means in terms of customer lifetime value. So the statistics are pretty compelling on the value of retaining current clients. Acquiring a new customer can sometimes cost up to 5 times more than maintaining an existing customer. So how does tracking customer lifetime value help focus and inform the marketing team at Quadra?
Thank you, Joanne. It's a pleasure to be here. Always wonderful to get a chance to talk back to the partner community, share our experience, and also learn from some of the best partners out there in the ecosystem. So one of the things that you really need to we need to learn on the field is that we tend to get emotional about our customers, right? There are these customers with whom we have a great relationship, with whom we connect so frequently that you literally tend to do anything and everything to go ahead and get things going for them. Then there are a set of customers whom you really don't interact with. It's not by choice or not by design, but you really don't end up interacting with very much every day. So it's important to actually have a data-driven insight into your business, kind of take a dispassionate decision. And that's where data or metrics like CLV can actually help you understand who are your most profitable customers, what is the best business model that you're pursuing currently, how do you identify and retain or increase wallet share with your most profitable customers. It's a very competitive market that we all work in, right, Joanne? So every time that you actually go ahead and lose a customer, it makes it that much more difficult to go ahead and sustain revenues and growth. Now, when you go ahead and actually analyze your CLV, you can now understand what customer segments or business areas are more profitable. You can go ahead and redirect your sales efforts. You can redirect your go-to-market efforts for maximum impact. And more importantly, you can actually channel those investments into areas where you can deliver more impact. You can put money into areas where you see that you're not doing such a good job, but it would have gone, it might have gone unnoticed if not for a data-driven insight such as the one that a metric like CLV can do for you. For us at Quadra, customer experience is everything. If there is just one word or 2 words that define what the ethos of our organization is, I would just go ahead and say it's customer experience. It's a sum total of every interaction that our customers got with Quadra, and we take a lot of care to ensure that we exceed expectations at every point in time. Along with CLV, since we're now talking about data-driven decision making, we also go ahead and track metrics like the customer acquisition cost or CAC, the customer satisfaction index or CSI, and the net promoter score or the NPS. When you put all these metrics together, you get a very holistic view of the health of, of your business, right from how effective are you in your sales and marketing efforts to how efficiently are you going ahead and delivering services to your customers, how well are you managing the post-sales scenarios for your customers as well. The worst thing that can actually happen to you, and which is kind of like a silent killer today, is customer churn. Customer churn at one point of time was something that only the telecom industry was worried about. But now that we've gone to an annuity model, we've gone to a subscription model, a subscription economy, this is something that we all need to be really, really careful about. If you don't track churn and if you don't identify reasons why you are facing increased churn, it can actually be disastrous for your business. So therefore, knowing CLV helps you to target the right customer segments and grow your business profitably in the right direction.
Yes, it's an excellent tool for identifying that sweet spot, which is the customer that you really want to attract and retain. So it helps guide in all your operational decisions from sales and marketing, go-to-market, future growth, even product development guidelines, because you want to attract this sweet spot and you want to do everything that improves the experience for that particular segment of customer, which is usually your most profitable customer. Also, you mentioned valuations. So a lot of partners out there are looking at how much their organization is worth. You know, they may be looking to be acquired or merge or grow through M&A activities. So absolutely, valuations are important and based on customer lifetime value as well. So it's critical for partners to develop relationships and solutions that engage customers for life. So can you tell us what marketing activities you undertake to support this maximizing of the customer lifetime value, especially post-sale at Quadra?
Sure. So one of the most important things we realized over the past few years is that we might be in the business of delivering technology solutions, but what our customers really want is outcomes. They want to tell us, or they want to get from us solutions which make a difference or make an impact to their business, to their bottom lines, to their revenues, to their growth, and to their profitability. So what we've understood here is that we don't stop at deployment. There was a time when we thought, wow, we landed a great deployment, everything is up and running, all lights are green, looks like we've done a great job, and let's now go back and start working on the next customer. No, what's happening right now is that deployment is actually the beginning of the most important part of the engagement, because that's when you can actually help the customer use the technology for business outcomes. That was how we discovered that if we wanted to keep focusing on profitability, if we wanted to go ahead and increase the wallet share from our customers, we had to invest in a dedicated customer success team. We've also gone ahead and invested in a dedicated renewals team. So what does the customer success team do? It's a very well-knit unit, and what they focus on really is a comprehensive process around delivering enduring value to our customers throughout the technology adoption lifecycle. So this team has actually helped us to ensure that customers are constantly attended to. We have their business needs on top priority at all points in the customer engagement, and this has resulted in deeper engagements. We've been able to connect beyond IT to also business decision makers. So now we're talking to marketing, we're talking to sales, we're talking to HR, And that gives us the ability to have a stronger footprint within the organization. It opens up possibilities to get budgets from just beyond IT. Because if you really look at it today, the budgets are actually with the business decision makers. They are with departments outside of IT. In a cloud world, that's one of the most important realizations that we as partners need to know. And all this has actually helped us to drive higher customer lifetime values.
That's excellent, and you've made some important points there. And it used to be in a sort of an on-premise world that the deployment date was usually the best day for a vendor, right? It's you deploy and then you can walk away. And it was often the worst day for the customer who had to then sort of live with it and often went through a lot of pain post-deployment. And now that's kind of reversed in a cloud-based world where, as you noted, it's a very pivotal day for vendors because post-deployment you have to drive to value. You can't just deploy and walk away anymore because your revenue model is based on what happens post-deployment. So the tables have flipped a little bit there. So you mentioned some very important things, customer success team and a renewal team post-deployment. So you no longer deploy and walk away. And given how important nurture programs are post-deployment, can you tell us what kind of advocacy and referral programs you have to support the post-deployment motion?
Absolutely, Joanne. So one of the themes that we constantly run at Quadra is what we call happy customers. So our website has it, our sales collateral has it, our people talk about it. And we believe happy customers are our greatest strength. So there's this unwritten rule in Quadra. If you need to do anything to keep a customer happy, to deliver a great customer experience, then you do not require any sort of approval. You virtually have a blank check which you can go ahead and cash and ensure that you are doing what it takes to keep the customer happy. Every customer-facing resource at Quadra is taught the importance of asking for customer referrals and relying on them as potent tools to reach out to new customers. So this is what happens when you keep focusing on the theme, happy customers. So what we do here is one of the things that we've also invested in is a sales excellence team, which is constantly focused on studying data from a business, studying, analyzing insights from our customer interactions, and then going ahead and tracking areas where we can actually go ahead and engage with customers better. So this team actually draws out data from customers and identifies customer engagements where we've done a good job and opportunities where we can go ahead and reach out for customer referrals. So this helps us to go reach out to customers, ask them, hey, would you be willing to give us a reference to some customers in your vertical? So for instance, we're talking to a customer in the pharma vertical. It becomes quite easy for us to reach out to, say, 2 or 3 more customers in the pharma vertical. We go ahead and incentivize our sales teams as well as our pre-sales teams who go ahead and create inroads for these kind of opportunities.
Right.
The referrals that we do, Joanne, another interesting thing is we actually get our customers to come and talk at our events. Now, more than anything that we can say, the most powerful message is always delivered by our customers. We get 1 or 2 satisfied customers to come and talk at our events. They do such a good job of talking about what we did for them, how we managed the entire customer experience. That literally sells our services better than any marketing tool that we could ever conceive of.
Well, I mean, what you speak to here is the power of social proof. Having your customers tell your story is so much more powerful than you telling a story, their peers are going to accept and trust more in their peers' experience rather than a vendor telling that same story. And the 84% of B2B decision makers start with a referral. So if you can encourage this directly or indirectly, like you're doing through customer testimonials or having them come and speak at events, that's going to have a lot more impact than you trying to lead with your own story first off. And I love the way that you've empowered your team members just to make everything right. So therefore, that has a knock-on effect to be able to encourage your customers to advocate on your behalf, because you're doing everything that you can to drive value and support them in their solutions.
Yeah, absolutely, Joanne. In fact, one of the things that we tell new recruits when they join is that we don't think that if your manager or your boss pays your salaries, or even that the company pays your salaries, your customers, our customers, pay your salaries. Never lose sight of this fact, and this single fact will help you, will guide you in every single thing that you do with in your daily work. So if you don't forget that customers pay your salaries, customers are responsible for your success as well as the company's success, then everything is going to fall in place. So just never lose sight of this fact. That's the only thing, one of the most important things that we tell them right on day one.
Yeah, great advice. So having success at maximizing customer lifetime value means that you need to deliver this great experience, this great customer experience, and that's defined by all these interactions that your customer has throughout their buying journey. So everything from awareness through to deployment, expansion, advocacy. So what does customer experience mean at Quadra, and how does your marketing and team align to this notion of excellent customer experience?
Right. So building on what I just talked about a little while earlier, Joanne, customers today expect that you deliver outcomes. So what our entire customer messaging focuses on is around business benefits and outcomes. What we do is to train our people to examine situations from a customer perspective. Put yourself in the customer's shoes rather than take a technology-centric approach. We might be in the business of technology, but we are actually in the business of delivering outcomes for our customers. And how does it actually land in the field? It starts with ensuring that our service offerings are expressed in terms of what they actually deliver for customers and not in terms of what technologies are involved. So we routinely run exercises at the beginning of every year where we identify our go-to-market campaigns for the next 12 months. And one of the most important things that I tell my team is that do not talk about technology in these campaigns. You got to talk about what you're going to deliver in terms of value for a customer, about how you're going to impact a customer's business. Technology or the tools that you use comes absolutely last. If you can get away without talking about technology, then you've had a really successful conversation, because good technology should be invisible. It should silently do its job and deliver the outcomes. So in order to keep in touch with our customers, we have regular touch points, at least once a quarter, to ensure that we keep seeking feedback and inputs, because we got to stay grounded. We got to stay in constant touch with what customers are thinking, with what customer needs are, what are market dynamics, what are our customers' competitors doing. So we make sure that we reach out to large customers in person, whereas we talk to smaller customers via phone and obviously in person whenever it's feasible. Every single customer escalation is discussed threadbare. So we have this policy where if a customer escalates, then that is brought to the attention of every single lead across the company, right from administration to operations to procurement to sales, pre-sales, to the exec management. Everyone is made aware of a customer escalation. Because the reason why we do this, because sometimes what the customer says as a problem could have actually originated or could have had multiple origins across various aspects of a business. And you want to make sure that everyone has visibility into what they can present as a potential solution for a customer, and that everyone always understands that our business is to keep our customers happy. It's very easy, for instance, if you look at people in finance and accounts or in procurement, they don't talk to customers. Their job doesn't involve talking to customers. So these are occasions where we can actually bring them up to speed on what are customers thinking and what are the guys who actually pay your salaries. What are they talking about? So it's very, very important to have these touch points.
Yeah, and it's important also to distinguish between customer service and customer experience. Customer service is really that single touch point, and a lot of vendors think of it as part of customer support, the break fix model and being reactive to a problem. And it's refreshing to hear that you are continuously reaching out across the whole journey that a customer has. And customer experience really impacts feelings and emotions and encompasses that entire journey from multiple touch points in multiple parts of your organization. So every interaction, whether it's digital or physical, that has an interaction point. So it's no surprise that customer experience is on track to overtake both price and product as the key brand differentiator by 2020, the analysts say. So how do you actually measure customer experience at Quadra? What are the key metrics or indicators of success for you?
Absolutely. So, and like you rightly said, Joanne, customer experience is much more than doing customer service. Customer experience is actually the sum total of every single engagement, like you so well said, be it physical or digital, across the entire customer life cycle. So it doesn't matter if you just do a good job today or even tomorrow, but you got to do it consistently 365 days a year. And in a services economy, in a services led business, I would say it's become easier to acquire customers, but it's a lot more easier to actually go ahead and lose those customers. So you got to work every single day of the year to earn your customers' respect, to retain their trust, and to make sure that you're delivering the best possible experience for them. And how do you do it? The simplest way that we actually go ahead and measure customer experience is one single metric, NPS, or the Net Promoter Score. The Net Promoter Score is basically the answer to one simple question. How likely is it for a customer to recommend your company to another person? People can say yes. People can say, you know what, I'm neutral, I may or may not. Or worse, people can just say, you know what, I don't want to refer you. I don't intend to refer your company to someone else. The sum of all these scores is your NPS. So you can have a positive, you can have a neutral, or a negative score. And you add all this up, you get your NPS. And the higher your NPS, it means you're delivering a great customer experience. And that's a single most important metric that I would use to kind of visualize or quantify the customer experience that we are doing. If you try to visualize that in a real life customer scenario, typically towards the closure of a deal, customers tend to ask, okay, can you give us some references? Who are some people who can talk to, who can tell us about your services and your solutions and your track record? Usually, that's a point when you want to say, yes, absolutely, I can. Let me come back to you with 3 customer references or 4 customer references. And you tend to call up customers and then say, you know what, would you be willing to be a reference for us? We have this customer that we're working on, and we would love for you to go ahead and give them some good feedback on the services. In our case, constantly focusing on customer experience means this is the question that we've been waiting for through the entire sales life cycle. So we just go out and then, you know what, here are the numbers, here are the email addresses. Would you like me to call them right now? And the fact that they're so confident about giving the references sends a non-verbal signal to our customers, to our potential customers, saying that, oh, these guys are very sure of what they're doing. They're so confident about giving a customer reference. I think I don't even need to call their customer. That's the level of confidence that they exude. So that's really, really important.
It's a great connector between that net promoter score and identifying potential advocates, raving fans, people that can talk your story on your behalf. So that's a very good connection that you made between the NPS and identifying potentials for advocacy programs. So what kinds of marketing technology do you use to support the customer experience journey?
One, the most important tool central to every thing that we do is actually our Microsoft CRM. Everything that we do is channeled back into our CRM. We go ahead and plug in Power BI to give us some rich intuitive dashboards that different people at various levels in our organizations can actually view and gain insights from. We also do digital, but I'm going to come to that in a bit, because a lot of our business is around focused customers. We really are looking at the mid-end to the larger enterprise customers. So it's a base where you typically have customer contacts. It's a base where you typically know who you want to get in touch with. So LinkedIn is one tool that we use very, very extensively, along with our insights sales teams. What we do is we actually go ahead and empower the inside sales team to deliver anything and everything possible to run the sales cycle from start to finish. They're not just people who get leads and pass them on to field. They are people who actually manage the entire sales cycle. And from that perspective, they're also empowered to deliver the best possible customer experience, just like I said a little earlier. When it comes to digital, which is probably what a lot of partners are also looking for, especially partners who work in the SMB space, one of the tools that we use is Zoho Social. What it does is it aggregates a digital presence across multiple channels, such as the web, the various social properties that we have, the campaigns that we run via email, and it gives us a single dashboard, a single unified view of our customer engagement. So it tells us how many customers are we reaching, which channels are succeeding, how do we go ahead and actually define the next step. For instance, we just ran a successful email campaign. Who are the people who opened links? Who are the people who actually went ahead and downloaded documents? And therefore, what should be your propensity in terms of going ahead and reaching out to these customers? So it's a combination of, I would say, old world, which is where I would put inside sales, LinkedIn, which I would say comes to between, and also much more broader based digital tools for which we aggregate them using Zoho Social. But central to everything that we do is once again our Microsoft CRM, because that's a single source of truth that we have in our company, and anything and everything that we do goes back there.
I find it very interesting that you've cherry-picked a series of technology and combined them with the human interaction that's still so important. You still need to have that decision-making there overriding everything, not having the technology tell you, but as an interesting input to empower your team members to make the right decisions in terms of customer experience and acquisition and sales cycle. So thanks for sharing that. And thanks so much for everything that you've brought to the conversation today around customer lifetime value and what that means at Quadrasystems. And it's an important element to consider for partners today, because the SaaS revenue model is one in which perhaps your customer acquisition costs might exceed sort of the revenues you get from the first purchase. So it's absolutely critical to have a very strong customer experience that goes post-deployment.
Thank you so much, Prashanth, for sharing your experiences around customer lifetime value at Quadrasystems.
You're welcome, Joanne. Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me here.
CLV is such an important consideration for many partners today who have a SaaS revenue model. where your customer acquisition costs may very well equal more than you make from a first purchase. So thank you so much for sharing your experiences around CLV at Quadrasystems. Thanks for listening to the Partner Marketing Pros podcast. We hope you gained some fresh insights and learned some new practical ideas today that you can implement in your marketing program. See a detailed transcript of the session and helpful links in our show notes. We encourage you now to listen to the companion webinar, which will go into further detail on all of the things that you heard here. It is located within Smart Partner Marketing at aka.ms/smartmarketing. This is just one of a 9-part series that is designed to help you accelerate your marketing efforts to engage buyers and propel your business growth.